Episode 245, Exercise, Increasing Your Consciousness.
You're listening to the very best podcast in the world on health, wealth, and happiness. Please remember to leave a review and share with all your friends and family. And here is your host, Lars Hilser.
And we have finally killed yet another week. Welcome to the very best podcast in the world, your only source in the universe for personal supremacy through health, wealth, and happiness. Jesus. I never get tired of this. How did I come up with this episode? Honestly, I don't know. There was this recurring theme of awareness and how it plays a role in developing mentally and how to thereby, reaching a higher sphere of awareness, a higher degree of whatever it is, but how awareness increases a large variety of factors in your life, just makes your life better. And I did my research, believe it or not. And I kind of reflected upon the things that changed for me upon reaching a higher degree of awareness. And I thought, putting all of that together in this giant mud castle would potentially help other people as well. And so, I dug in and said, look, what is this awareness? Well, similar to consciousness, and how do you get to, how do you increase your consciousness and those kind of ordeals. And I, did my research and kind of got rid of the stuff that I thought was bonkers. That's the problem really with a lot of the research that's out there. Quite a lot of it is crap. And so I got rid of it. And boiled everything down for you to be able to use this weekend to reflect upon these ideas that are left after weeding out the weeds. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So before we get started, though, as every single day, we're going to go through the housekeeping bit. Item number one being, as always, that sharing is caring. In that, please share this content far and wide. And as you have probably noticed by now, I am not asking you to do so to line my pockets because I couldn't care less. Honestly, this is my life's journey, all of the 42 years of it, combined with hell of a lot of experience. Multiple people have said to me that the life I've lived up until now is what other people wouldn't achieve in 5 lifetimes, with all of the ups and downs and all of the experiences made, the exposure to many different cultures, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so therefore, I'm asking you to share this with a truly altruistic motive to help other people. Reason being, and I've repeatedly mentioned this, a few weeks back, got an email from someone out of the blue that had coincidentally ran across one of our episodes in the social feed of a friend of theirs and started binging all of the episodes that were out there and said, damn it, this changed my life for the better in such an astounding way that I will sit down and write this comprehensive, probably if I printed it out, would have been like 5-6 pages, email where I'm going to say thank you is the bottom line. And that's why, this sharing is caring is so important. Item number 2, you should have gotten used to it by now, is that views are my own, yada, yada, don't represent blah. Item number 3, still in major remodeling mode, building, constructing, swinging the hammer and the power drill and chainsaw and all of that good stuff. And so episodes are going to be a bit shorter, a bit more concise, less elaborate than in the most recent past. And damn it, I already spent 5 minutes blabbing at you my random ramblings without getting into any meaningful content. So we shall change that immediately. So what are some ways to increase your consciousness or to reach a new level of awareness? Jesus Christ, awareness. Well, there are multiple factors that play into the reaching that new level. Let's put it that way. And one of the ones that stands out most is to spend time outside. Now, subconsciously, you will know this because occasionally your head is full, you're close to tilt, and you just have to go for a walk, get some fresh air, because the air that you're breathing is, kind of depreciated of oxygen, because you've been breathing in it, and you just have to go outside. And, that's really an interesting natural response to being, encapsulated in an office environment, for instance, where, normally you don't have only the depleted air, the oxygen depleted air, but you also have a totally sophisticated system of pipes and whatever to give you conditioned air, which filters a lot of stuff that's in the air and, enriches it with blah, blah, blah. And interesting things start to happen for a lot of people. They get headaches if they're used to being outside, and they don't feel really that productive. And, at the end of the day, what is, this air conditioning in office environments going to be about? It's obviously about increasing productivity. But, some people feel, well at 20 degrees Celsius, others at 23. And, by that mean alone, you're going to have a difference in perception and a difference in, workload that people can actually handle, and their motivation goes up or down, depending on how they feel, blah. So anyhow, spending time outside really takes the edge off, because leave your cell phone at home when you do so. At least put it in airplane mode if you are afraid to get lost in the forest, as some people do. And, just spend more time outside just to, clear out your head, enjoy nature if it's around you. If not, to invest the extra 30 minutes to get outside of the city and, or go into a park, just to take the edge off, enjoy nature. And there we go. While you're at it, we're going to stick around at the park example. Another interesting thing to increase your consciousness is to practice people watching, right? Watching other people. It's like you think of these nature and discovery series about, people or animals, and how they interact with each other. And so on and so forth. And the same is true for humans. At the end of the day, we are animals, glorified, self-glorified, actually. And, it's just this interesting species to observe and so on and so forth. What does it give you, though, right? How does that increase your consciousness? How does that increase your awareness? Well, you can find when you watch people a lot of flaws that you may have on yourself. And that is where the point of awareness comes in, because you're going to be aware that, hey, I pick my nose when I'm unobserved, or apparently or seemingly unobserved. I need to stop that because it is icky. I just saw someone do it, and it doesn't really reflect that well on my social skills or whatever. And that's what people watching that's where people watching comes in really, really handy. Another important thing or how to increase your consciousness or awareness is to practice gratitude. And you may be thinking, what the hell has that dude smoked? Well, here's the catch, right? We take a lot of things for granted. Be it that, somebody opens the door for us, or, something as benign as you woke up this morning. That's not a fucking guarantee. But that's something to be grateful for. And the moment you make this move towards being grateful for things that that should be givens. As soon as you become grateful for them, that's a new level of awareness that you have achieved, believe it or not. Because at the moment that you are able to make this transition towards this, next level of gratitude, next level of awareness, you're going to be thankful for so many things which you've taken for granted for the longest time. And that's really an interesting aspect that you should consider. Just wake up and spend these 20, 30 seconds of saying, God damn it, it's good to be alive. Thank you to whomever. Next up is to keep a journal. I will not go into this because I think it was this week or last that we did a dedicated episode about journaling, how to do it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But in any sense, in the consciousness or awareness arena, let's put it that way, it gives you, writing something down gives a totally different quality to whatever you do. And, setting goals, keeping goals, how am I doing, progress reports, do them for yourself, most importantly, right? Next is to activate your senses. And that's really interesting. A lot of us run through, I'm just thinking a city environment, and you run through the city, you're rushed, you're trying to catch the next train, you're trying to catch the next cab, all the while you're trying not to get run over by a gazillion cars passing by you, the potential mugger trying to stake you out. That just keeps you from activating all of your senses. So that's where we go back to spending time outside or, getting into nature more. That gives you an opportunity to tune down because there's not many predators out there, at least not those that want to mug you, but from different species maybe. But nonetheless, that gives you an opportunity to practice to activate your senses. And once you have awarely, if that is even a word, come to a degree where your senses, where your sensual functions are heightened, you will see that you're able to transport this into the city again, and you will be able to consciously observe this unique smell of the of the subway or the tube, as you Brits call it, which is totally unique and distinct, and it's just totally fascinating to me. I'm very seldomly in cities, and much less do I ride the subway. But when I do, this smell is just overwhelming, and I immediately know where I am because it is so unique, so distinct that it's just this very special scent for me. The next thing, and you're going to call me even crazier than before, is to do nothing, right? And you're going to be like, well, yeah, blah, blah, blah. No, just do nothing. And you're going to be thinking, yeah, but that's going to be, no, you don't get the point. I mean, nothing. And that includes not thinking, which is an essential part of every meditation practice. Practice, is to think nothing, not to not move a muscle or anything, and to enjoy the silence. But you need to be able to reach this silence in your head as well, right? And should you, by any chance, you're going to get better at this, but at the beginning, it's going to be very difficult to tune out your mind entirely. And only if you achieve that are you going to be able to reach those other heights to activate your senses and so on and so forth, right? But doing nothing, it's not like you have to punish yourself and it has to be this excruciating exercise, but it's about really sitting down and, doing nothing physically. And then it's time to focus on your mind. And should a thought occur, finish thinking it. It's okay. Right. But then say, okay, I've had my thought. It's done. It's completed. For all I'm concerned, write it down. Right. If it's important, because this is a time where your mind is going to be less occupied, going to be able to think differently. You're going to get totally different results in thinking over topics, right? But we're thinking again, and we should stop with that, right? So, allow those thoughts. Don't just categorically deny your mind to think, but make it slow down by telling yourself, consciously or subconsciously, that now is not the time to think. Now is the time for nothing. Now is the time for blackness or whiteness or grayness or pinkness or whatever your favorite color in the world is. And that's where, you're going to reach this stage where you will be capable of actually doing nothing, both physically and psychologically. And that leads us to the last but not least, which is, to take care of your health. And, immediately you're going to think about exercise, you're going to think about diet, but it's also about mental health, right? It's about detoxing yourself, disconnecting yourself from toxic people in your life, right? It's about being able to awarely recognize that somebody's trying to hurt you, and to whatever degree or whatever purpose. And it's very important to cut those toxic people out of your life, not with a scalpel, but with a fucking chainsaw. That's an important lesson to be learned. And that's going to give you, the mental health, and it's going to put you in a good way. Mental health is something we're going to go over in more detail in the future. I haven't really decided when. But, don't mistake health only for the physical part. So in that sense, I think we're going to wrap it up right here, because we've already killed the 10 minutes again by 6 minutes. But I hope that this will, this spending time outside, practicing people watching, practicing gratitude, keeping a journal, activating your senses, doing absolutely nothing and taking care of your health will be good starting points for you to reach a new level of consciousness, a new level of awareness, and put you on the right track for 2022. And all of those things are going to play a major role to stay sane with all of the stuff going on. Folks, it's not going to get any better. Polarization is going to increase. You're, going to lose a lot of friends over different opinions, which, back in the day was good. People, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, but you lived with the people. That's not possible, or less possible than it was. And those are going to be skills, just to keep your chill in situations like that, which are going to be immensely necessary. So in that sense, have a nice weekend practicing all of the above. And we'll be back on Monday. We're going to talk about a totally new topic, which I haven't decided upon. Have a nice weekend. See you soon. Stay safe, folks. Bye.